Hello, my name is Corey, and welcome to the Man of Honor podcast episode. In fact, I've taken the take at least 4 times. I've started over and over, but I'm really excited to be doing this. It's been a long time coming. It's one of those things that comes once in a lifetime when you know you can make an impact on people's lives. In fact, when we're talking about Men of Honor, which is a Facebook group. It's a Facebook group, a support group for men, where men can come and get equipped with different strategies in order to have that complete freedom in terms of living life. So they live a life by design, and because they're living a life by design, they can work towards complete freedom. Now, when it comes to complete freedom, it can mean anything to anybody. In my personal life, complete freedom means being able to make enough money so I can have more time with my family, with more time with my children, more time with my wife. And that could be different for somebody else. Somebody else could be just making money so they can have live a life that is completely off grid. Whatever complete freedom means from you. And this is quite interesting because it coincides with the book that I started reading by I think Lewis Howard, that's his name. Sorry for the wrong pronunciation, but it talks about the masks of masculinity, and this is it. It's one of the things that best describes our group, that men over a long period of time, based on socialization, maybe it's the movements like Me Too, which I totally support, and movements that are for supporting women and bringing awareness to abuse to women. I support all those movements, but there is collateral damage in terms of male masculinity and how men are represented in the world. So there's a lot of things that we're going to be unpacking over the next few weeks, months, and many years to come in this podcast. And it's one of those podcasts that we're going to be covering the growth of Men of Honor. We know that we're going to make an impact in terms of uncovering those masks that are stopping people from living life by design. And when you live your life by design, then you're going to be having that if you do live your life by design, then you're working towards having life that is completely free, and that freedom could mean anything to anyone. And I don't know what that means to you, and I would like you to take a second and actually think about what that complete freedom means to you. In fact, I was speaking to a friend of mine recently, and we were on a business call, and he said to me, "What does complete freedom mean to you?" Because we're talking about this podcast. And it took me back for a second. I explained to him, I would like to make money, enough money that I don't have to work all day, every day like I do right now. And I would like to spend more time with my family. And then he said, you can take it deeper than that. And it was amazing what he said. He said, complete freedom also talks about your mental state. So you living without stress, that's complete freedom. You living without like for instance, a unbalanced sexual desire between you and your partner is complete freedom. So these are other things that we'll be unpacking. So for instance, we had a lady called Dr. Laurie who came over. She's a sex therapist. She came and spoke in our group, and she was really trying to address the issue of mismatched sexual desires between couples. And that is so important in terms of a couple going forward and maintaining that intimacy. And it was really interesting that she unpacked those things, because in fact when Andrew, my friend, when he started explaining this, it's opened a new perspective in terms of complete freedom, that it's not only financial, it's not only spending time with the kids or making money off in a beach or something like that. It's more about just a holistic approach into removing different masks. And as you remove different masks, you live your life by design and you achieve that complete freedom. So it sounds a bit cryptic in terms of I've not really unpacked anything. And when I say masks, it's just different insecurities that us as men have and we are not we don't freely share with anyone. These are the things that we're going to be talking about in terms of friendships and how you can develop good friendships that are productive in terms of in your life. We're going to be talking about things like employment. How can you maximize and actually grow and be effective in your employment and be able to go to the highest point of your abilities, and also talk about business and how you can achieve greatness in your business. But the entire goal of us gathering as men is for us to self-develop, living life by design, so we can have complete freedom, so we can infect our community, so we can give them that same passion for the life that we're living, but also change our communities for the positive as well. So I'm sort of rushing through this podcast because I've just arrived home from work, and I just thought I would make this because I tried to do it in the morning. It didn't quite work out. It wasn't what I wanted to say, but I feel like I've shared at least the essence of what Men of Honor is, and really the key phrases that you're going to hear me say over and over again is living life by design and complete freedom. And we're trying to achieve that complete freedom. And again, I said it means anything to everyone. I'm not going to quantify what it is for you. You are the one that's going to decide. But what we can do for you is give you the tools to get there. So as you join the Men of Honor group, Facebook group, you'll be getting strategies to get complete freedom in different areas of your life. So literally like removing different masks, so the ones that have been affecting you and stopping you from actually seeing this. In fact, you're probably asking, what makes you think that I have a problem? And you're probably on the fence and thinking this is ridiculous. But really, if you take a moment to actually just indulge me for a second, if you think about it, we all live a life that's been prescribed to us. So imagine when you go to your doctor and you're feeling you're not well, the doctor just prescribes a piece of medication. And we've been prescribed a life where you go to, because we've got we're speaking to the whole world, so the different schooling systems, but you go to nursery, or what's equivalent to nursery, and you go to a primary school or a junior school, or you go to a secondary or high school, and then from there you proceed to go to a university. And all these are things that have been prescribed for people, that in order to achieve success, you need to go through the schooling system until you get a degree, and then you get a job, and depending on the problem you're trying to solve, you get highly paid if you're a surgeon, and whatever is in between in terms of the qualification. So that's what you've been prescribed. That's what's going to happen. And if you reach to a certain age, you should have a girlfriend, a long-term girlfriend, or long-term, partner. And at that point, you should proceed to get married, and then you should go and have children, and then you should have a mortgage. There's all these things that we live under pressure and chasing, that has been prescribed to us, that we have to do it this way. But what if you chose to live in a different way, the one that's got no freedom, that's got no pressure, that's got no anything that is against who you're supposed to be in terms of being an effective member of the world? So you're doing something that you love, that you're destined to do in terms of women. Because when you do something that you love, then it's just going to affect everybody that's around you. It's going to affect your family in terms of whether it's finances or just the passion of what you're doing, but also your community and as a whole. So this is exactly what we're talking about. That we're not saying that every man is faulty, but there's certain things that are stopping you from getting to that point where you are in complete freedom. And this is exactly what we'll be looking at and giving you those strategies within the Facebook group. And hopefully in the future we can get to a point where we're challenging all men all around the world to come and support each other, and get to a point where we're just a massive force, where we're just loving our families, we're doing massive things that are great in terms of making a world a better place. Because I think there's a lot of visions of people making money, and it's usually a selfish thing. And that's again a mask that we want to amass things in order to cover, some insecurity or something of that sort. But it's things that we're going to be addressing that will be able to get you a focus so you can live your life by design where you're truly happy, you're truly loving with everything, and you're not just having happiness where it's superficial, but it's true happiness that you wake up feeling joy, and you're loving somebody, and you're loving deeper rather than just superficial. It goes beyond sex, goes beyond the normal things that we've been prescribed to live and enjoy, or supposedly in inverted commas enjoy. So those are the things that we're going to be trying to go into and go even a lot deeper in many other things. But hopefully in this first episode, I've managed to give you a feel of where this podcast is going. It's something that we don't quite understand the message that we're going to be giving. So it's something that we're going to be going, and as we're learning more and more about the men that are within the group and what's their desires and what they want to learn and what's really changing in their lives, we're going to be documenting through this podcast. So everybody has got an opportunity to actually learn as we learn. And none of us are experts by any means. We're not psychologists or therapists, but we're just people that are looking to make a difference in our own lives and create that complete freedom, and so we can affect the world. So it's one of those things that we're so passionate about, and just getting men to a point where we're all living in a happier, much happier lives, and everything like that. So let me stop it here because I'm now just repeating myself. And I thank you very much for taking this time to listen to this episode. If you, again, you haven't joined Men of Honor Facebook group, go along and join. If you are a lady and you've listened to this and you think you know somebody who might benefit from this, your husband or your brother, your cousin, advise them to go and join the Men of Honor group, because you might have been listening to this as a lady, but you know that somebody can benefit from this. And we're not going to be accepting any ladies. We don't, because it gives opportunity for the men to be able to share freely without any judgment from the ladies. But it's not a place for bashing women. It's just a place where we talk about real issues and we try and address them so we can become better men to the women in our life. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope I'll be hearing from you guys, especially on the Men of Honor Facebook group. Let us know that you've come from this podcast, if you found it. Thank you very much for listening, and you'll be hearing from us soon. Thank you.